And then the announcement from Tony Khan that was taped in the back or done live. But anyway, it was a backstage announcement from Tony Khan stating that the first edition of Collision will in fact take place from the United Center in Chicago. And you heard the cheers when Chicago was announced. You could make out a CM Punk chant as this began, but no announcement of CM Punk, that they are keeping that close to the vest, I guess. But this all but is your wink and a nod. And I would be very surprised if we go into June 17th without that announced. They have a lot of incentive to get his name out there. And maybe that is an added expectation for the pay-per-view, that they have a reveal of CM Punk coming back.
Well, given the idea reportedly last week was that he was going to be announced as part of the upfronts and that he was going to be a part of this entire promotion, especially when you have these Collision shows that aren't doing so well and are probably going to be in need of that extra boost with CM Punk attached to all the shows. What do you think was the thinking of not announcing Punk tonight?
What is did they put the on sale date on the graphic for the
I think they said Friday.
That's Friday?
Yeah.
I would think that they are going into Friday with the idea of what is the first day going to be? Do enough people already expect Punk just by announcing Chicago?
Mm-hmm.
And they've got and if it's below expectations, you can throw his name out on the Sunday. I mean, they do have that option of seeing like what maybe they're going to sell a ton of tickets on Friday because everyone is still going to believe, like, why would they run Chicago without Punk? It's not like the Wintrust Arena, which granted is Dynamite and Rampage 4 days later. Not like that one is doing gangbusters during this whole time either.
Yeah.
But that's another one to watch as well. If people, because that's not even a guarantee he would be on that show, though you would think, both days in Chicago, you would want him.
At this point, if you've kind of missed the value of like having him being announced as part of the upfronts, like damage, arguably has already been done. Well, then why not wait until the pay-per-view so that you can generate more buzz coming? Like you have a great pay-per-view topper, a pay-per-view closer that you can, get all those headlines from. Maybe there's a thinking that like, hey, we don't necessarily want the Punk news to dominate interest going into Double or Nothing. I mean, they could have, of course, had Tony Khan promote an announcement at Double or Nothing. Huge announcement about who's going to appear on the first edition of Collision happening at Double or Nothing. But I think at this point, like, if you pretty much know that, like, AEW probably wouldn't be booking the United Center unless that they were confirmed. And let's be honest, like, the media is kind of already doing the job of announcing Punk for them anyway.
And Thursday, you will get at least a bit of an indication if some of these Collision dates move tickets, because you are now naturally going to, if you're assuming Punk for Chicago, then you're assuming him for Toronto, you're assuming him for Hamilton, you're assuming him for all the Collisions. And if a bunch of tickets move on Thursday, that's probably a really good sign for Friday at the United Center.
Although it's still not a guarantee. Like, I know Punk is supposed to be sort of like the poster child of this brand, but is it a guarantee that he's going to be on every single show? We also know, like, at least rumors are that these rosters aren't going to be subject to like a hard brand split, and sometimes you might still see Punk on a Dynamite. It's not necessarily a guarantee he'll be on every Collision. There's
still a lot of questions that will be centered around CM Punk as well between now and I think in perpetuity, people are going to have those questions about this whole return and this run. But will be to me at some point you let the name out. I don't see them going into June 17th unless they just sell out the United Center in a matter of days, and then maybe they believe, we didn't have to throw that card out.
Yeah, there are certainly a lot of questions regarding Punk, a lot of questions regarding Collision. Among them, I think chiefly for Canadians is, where can you watch Collision?
Well, I think, Wade, that it is going to be the question that I am asked more than you could imagine. That and what does VPN stand for? What is a virtual private network, Wade?
If you are one of those people who might be living in the country that I live in or another country and you don't exactly know where you might be able to watch Collision, I think it would be a pretty safe bet that you'd be able to find it through some sort of online means. And how best to access some of those online means that might be geo-blocked in your country than with the use of a VPN. And how about the best VPN that's out there? The best VPN that man has made. NordVPN. Thank you to the sponsor of the show, NordVPN. A very big fan of this service. I use it all the time, including tonight to watch tonight's edition of AEW because I'm in Canada, yet I'm able to access AEW Plus on Fight. I get to watch all the shows live, commercial free and uncensored. Every edition of Dynamite and Rampage in the back catalog is also available. So those of you may be upset that this thing isn't a part of a max deal, at least as yet, you can get archives of all Dynamites and all Rampages through AEW Plus. You can even pause and rewind, which is an invaluable skill for me. You can also use Nord, of course, to purchase subscriptions and even pay-per-views at a reduced price through places that might offer them cheaper. It's really not difficult to figure out, and it's already paid for the cost of my Nord subscription many times over. You can even book flights, rental cars, hotels from different places that may offer cheaper prices. All this plus Nord's robust security features. Protect your internet browsing from ISPs, trackers, hackers, access geo-blocked content, and escape speed limits imposed by your internet provider. Sign up through nordvpn.com/postwrestling, where Post listeners can receive a discount on all plans, plus their current offer, 4 extra months on top of all 2-year subscriptions, or 3 extra months on top of all 1-year subs. That's about $3.17 a month for a 28-month plan. Nord also offers a 30-day money-back guarantee, so if you don't like it within a month, tell them you want your money back, and that is it. Again, nordvpn.com/postwrestling. Let them know that you found out about them through us. Our thanks again to Nord for their support of Post.
And thank you, Mr. Ting.